In the beginning, when spaces were infinitely void, an architectural creator would stood above the universe with an arithmetical value, a system so perfectly divine and precise beyond wonders. Beyond mathematical proportions, structure upon structure, our universe was created with an imagination so vivid, so orderly, so surreal, so divine. Within the construct and the very fiber of our being, our blueprint relies within the code that emerges from a continuous soul contract, unraveling the very thread of our existence. The universe so vast and mathematically perfect, only a speck of darkness can create such an immersive experience with amazement beyond our wildest imagination. It can never be destroyed, the system in which our universe has adopted as its own. It is time to discover. It is time to unravel. It is time to uncover your blueprint. Welcome to your world, the world of numerology. Numbers are the blueprint of the universe, and yet the path in knowing this fundamental truth is subtle and elusive. It's not that we ignore them. We pass through them and breathe them in like air, but the truth is always expressed outwardly without pretense, without the outer knowing. They express themselves like the wind that simply travels amongst the atmosphere. Numbers are like the rough edges of a rock, the stillness of the grass. It is expected and true, and yet it holds the engine behind all things. Numbers cannot be seen. They can only be felt within the confinement of one's own movements, thoughts, and ideas. It rests at the base of our atomic particles. It is present like the air we breathe in our lungs, the Brahma that sustains life. It's an inner knowing like a biological instinct. In everything we do, in every action we take, there's a progressive interrelation with the numbers that define our blueprint. This can be acknowledged within the smaller aspects of our lives, for example, our likes and dislikes, the connections we feel with others, what we deem as a priority, and what is the most important personal value we hold. Numerology has a mission, and that mission is to discover your soul's connection by expressing your authentic self. The authentic self is one of the hardest and most profound experiences to come by as a human being because we become embellished with our surroundings the minute we are born. A newborn's mind is pure in the essence that it does not harbor any humanistic quality, yet it is easily impressionable and absorbable. A clean slate of the mind and spirit is what connects to purification to take us back to our numerological blueprint, stripping away every facet that's been impelled into humanity by societal standards, social expectations, and personal grievances. There is a purity that still lies within each individual, and that is where the key to unlocking the universe lies. Pythagoras discovered the notion of numerology when he first discovered the connection between a number and a music note. Known as the father of numerology, Pythagoras brought an awareness that numbers have a definitive stance on our identity, behavior, and the rhythm of one's own journey. A brilliant mathematician and philosopher, he intertwined the concept of numerical value and correlated it with all mundane things in the world. He believed that all aspects of life were connected to a numerical code. In the aspect of this belief, all things that are sequentially ordered have a divine purpose and a spiritual stance beyond our physical realm. This allows us to connect with our spiritual selves and come back home to our blueprint. Numbers are connected to mathematics, and its absolute truth stands solidified in eternity. Numbers cannot be taken out of context. They cannot be interpreted. They cannot be molded or sculpted to fit a bias or an agenda. They present themselves as they are and are accepted as is. In the same essence, going back to our purity or the truth of our personal blueprint is simply a reveal, not an ideology. You may be wondering, how do I know for sure I've connected with my numbers? In truth, you have, without being conscious of it. If you conceptualize the often mundane actions and thoughts one takes on a daily basis, you will start to see many patterns and recognize how immersed one is in their own numerology chart. Discovering aspects of yourself numerologically is often a mind-blowing experience. You will notice within the aspects of your numerology blueprint that you will be attracted to your numbers subconsciously. This includes resonating with certain individuals and rejecting others energetically, praising an artist whose work resonates with you on a deep level, or simply latching onto something or someone without logically understanding why. One of the most astounding discoveries is how we even choose numbers that are reminiscent within our blueprint. For example, if you were to check your email username or any username of that matter, the number often chosen is a core number in your numerology blueprint. You should also think about your favorite athlete and the number on their jersey. Are there any connections to that number? An athlete that is a definitive connection? Have you looked at the numbers in your home address, apartment number, or street number? They are often associated with your core numbers in your numerology blueprint. Have you thought about the addition of your social security, the number assigned to you at birth that connects you to your sense of physical identity? Other examples come down to the phone number you were assigned by your telephone company. Most of the time, your phone number, when added, connects to a core number in your numerology blueprint. These often overlooked tendencies are never deeply examined, but when you understand why certain numbers are finding you, there's a deeper understanding and connection that cannot be discounted or denied. In this documentary, I will show you the astounding correlations all things numerology and how they are the connection that suffices beyond the physical realm surrounding us. Numerology is connected to the 8th house and the aspect that it is not in our control to be connected to these numbers, but they are assigned to each and every one of us for a divine purpose. We are physically manifesting the energy of our numbers, even if we're not fully conscious of it. For example, Lionel Messi is a world-famous soccer player who chose the jersey number 10. Lionel Messi is a 10-1 life path in numerology. He is known for his incredible athletic strategy and agility connected to the 1st house and his physical body. Retired mixed martial artist fighter Ronda Rousey, a 1 life path, she was defeated in her first career defeat by another 1 life path, Holly Holm. The frontman of Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, was a 9 life path who died at the age of 27, and when you add 27, it equates to another 9. And his band name Nirvana is defined ultimately by spiritual liberation and ascension of the physical realm. It also connects to the 9 conceptually. He also married Courtney Love, who was another 9 life path, and whose band was named Whole, conceptualizing the shadow side of the 9 through the definition of void and darkness. Singer Beyonce, choosing 4 as one of her album names released in 2011, which happened to be a 4 universal year, also making it her 4th studio album. She was also born on the 4th of September. James Cameron, who is a 7 life path, has stated that he feels a deep connection to the ocean, which transpires in a lot of his solo work, and it also represents the 7 numerically, as the ocean symbolizes the vastness of mystery. Interestingly, he also chose Leonardo DiCaprio as his lead in Titanic, another 7 life path. The recently released version of A Star is Born, the main protagonist Bradley Cooper, who tends to be a 1 life path, purposefully chose Lady Gaga, another 1 life path, to join him as a lead in the film. A Star is Born is characterized by 2 ultra-talented musicians living their individuality and reaching their dreams and potential by expressing themselves artistically. It is the quintessential story that magnificently connects to the definition of the 1 life path. As one can clearly see, their chemistry on film was also very potent and powerful, which leads us to another important conclusion. Numerology is needed to facilitate appropriate roles within all fields and industries. When numbers are aligned and respectively used in its most efficient function, they help understand weaknesses and strengths for all people. This eventually will lead to appropriately fitting each person in a role that activates their internal it factor. We'll talk about the it factor and understanding magnetism with the power of numerology in the next video in this introductory series. The 6 core numbers in your numerology chart are essential to understand as it works as an internal blueprint. They serve as an engine behind your purpose, the timing of your life events, and most importantly, your spiritual evolution. Your numerology blueprint is a complex set of numbers that make up a code that your soul is seeking to break in this lifetime. Think of your numerology blueprint as an extremely difficult combination lock that is not willing to open unless you figure out each and every number and its potent lessons. Understanding the importance of each number in your blueprint is as essential as unlocking one number to further your journey towards a reveal. The first number is the life path number, which is derived from the entirety of your birthday. When you add your birthday from left to right, most of the time it becomes a double-digit number, one in which you will have to reduce down to a singular number. This number revolves around the notion of soul lessons and authenticating your path to your utmost potential. The second number is your birthday number. This is the least complicated number to understand as it reveals your internal gifts and talents. It acts like an assistant to the life path number. The third number is your expression number, which is derived from the entirety of your name. When utilizing the Pythagorean chart, you can transfer any letter and flip it to a number based on the following chart. Your expression number, also known as the destiny number, reveals your destined physical path in life. It reveals the career best suited for your soul's evolution. The fourth number, and ranked as the most important number in your blueprint, is your soul urge number. This number is derived from the vowels of your name. Again, using the same method finding your expression number, however, utilizing the vowels only. The soul urge number, known as the heart's desire number, reveals your subconscious yearnings and the most intimate part of yourself. It's also connected to your past lifetime and what you hope to release in this lifetime to evolve. Oftentimes, the soul urge number comes with many discomforts that need to be addressed and healed in this lifetime, thus making it the most profound number in your entire numerological blueprint. The fifth number is your personality number, which is derived from the consonants in your name. The personality number is the most outer number, and it is used as a way to disclose your first physical physical impression on others. It can be used to magnetize yourself in social situations and gain what is needed from others. The sixth and final number acts as a final function, which is called the maturity number. This is extracted from the addition of your life path number and expression, also known as destiny number. This number acts as a predictor to the future, how you will function after the age of 36. It is the number that reveals spiritual maturity and refinement. The core numbers and their role in our lives must lead us to inquire how all the numbers function, which I will explain now. The first function is the mental numbers, 1, 5, and 7. These numbers are more associated with the frontal lobe of the brain, mastering the difference between logic and instinct. They are more prone to thinking strategically when tackling situations logically. These numbers support innovation, introspection, and individualism. The second function is the interrelation numbers, 2, 4, and 8. These numbers are associated with duality, exchangeability, and business. This function stack is associated with partnerships, relationships, and correlation. Similar to the 3, 6, 9 function, they are often disclosed associating with others, but on a less collective level. They're profoundly connected to their intimate circle and create collectivism in a more exclusive manner. These numbers are detail-oriented, they are fair, they're often business-related, and they rule the material world. They are associated with physical success and physical manifestation. They're associated more so with the earth energy as they travel amongst a more slow-moving, steadily, and reciprocal course in life. The third function is the universal numbers 3, 6, and 9. It's often associated with universalism, profound creativity, and social altruism. In theory, Nikola Tesla considered this function stack as the key to the universe, which I will explain further in this video with further examples. It is connected to people, utmost connectivity, genius works of art, and collectivism. These numbers are usually more emotional than logical. They often suffer the most from emotionally inflicted diseases because the earthly plane does not gratify their strengths, but they do contribute the most groundbreaking works of art that connects to people from all walks of life. The fourth and last function is the master numbers, 11, 22, and 33. These numbers are associated with divinity, elevation, and refinement. The master numbers serve as initiators of the earthly plane by integrating what the previous three functions came to serve: mental refinement, universalism, and interrelation. They are the energy elevators of the previous numbers and predecessors, expanding the consciousness of humanity through their spiritual evolution. They're often more emotional than logical, as they carry a more subconscious power. 11, the master manifestor, 22, the master builder, and 33, the master communicator. The latter numbers carry a heavy spiritual responsibility for the collective, thus the reason they are hard to understand. All numbers, however, are purposeful and binding in the essence of true divinity and wholeness. Giving the opportunity to relate to all numbers to science and the physical relations of the world is extremely essential. The 369 sequence, as spoken of earlier, refers to the universalism and ultimate luck in achieving great works of art that does not only have a worldwide impact, but have the ability to cross over throughout different cultures. 369 works of art are global, and it showcases universalism in the aspect that people from all walks of life can relate to it. The function 369 is connected to Nikola Tesla's 369 theory, which instilled the secret to unlocking the keys to the universe. His connection was intent on the mathematical methods such as geometry. For example, a circle holds 360 degrees. When added, it becomes a 9, which denotes completion, fulfillment, and universality. This also comes down to simple mathematics. 3 plus 6 plus 0 from 360 equals to a 9. Other magical mathematical components support this theory. For example, 3 to the third power equates to a 9. If you keep multiplying numbers in doubles, such as 1 becoming 2 and 2 becoming 4 and so forth, 369 are not accounted for. Multiply any number by 9, it will elevate a numerical value, but it can always be reduced back to a 9. This theory holds truth as the following works of art and television represents the genius and excruciatingly brilliant energy of the 369 manifesting in artistic form. Game is a quintessential example of why the show worked such wonders and garnered their worldwide acclaim in such a short amount of time. Most of the cast members connect on a numerological level by having 3, 6, or 9 as a number in their numerology blueprint. This is the reason the show was so successful and the chemistry between the actors flowed through the screen. Another show very similar to this numerological phenomenon is none other than Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones carries the same numerological energy as Squid Game in the essence that it has a 369 function all over its creation. Any type of art that's created within this function attains immense caliber and influence, and it has the potential to create cult fan bases. This denotes the celebration of versatility and the triumphant energy of the human spirit that is showcased heavily in both shows. Squid Game and Game of Thrones are two shows who've reached a level of cultural phenomena on a global level. Both shows are interpreting a game of life, one dealing with the obstructions of government, power, and control, and the other dealing with poverty, socioeconomic issues, ethics, and humanity. The latter themes deal with the darker aspects of the human spirit, while simultaneously rooting for a more idealistic and beautiful world, which is the reason it became a universal message that has connected people from all walks of life. The creation of Game of Thrones is heavily influenced by J.R.R. Tolkien, whom George R.R. Martin has exceedingly credited as being the sole inspiration behind the creation of Game of Thrones. J.R.R. Tolkien was a 6th life path and was born on a 3-day. The R.R. in his middle name is also shared by George R.R. Martin, as the R has the Pythagorean value of the 9. George R.R. Martin is a 33 6th life path and also attains a personality number 6. The writers whom adopted George R.R. Martin's novel A Song of Ice and Fire and pitched it to HBO as Game of Thrones were Dan Weiss and David Benioff. Interestingly, David Benioff is a 6th life path and Dan Weiss is a 9 life path. The show's ensemble cast exceedingly shared the same numerological energy in their personal charts, which condoned an unusual and serendipitous occurrence by garnering the right actors for their respective role. The brilliance of Game of Thrones stems from the numerological connection the writers have with the cast. It's a perfect and rare occurrence of right place and right timing, which is the reason we see excellent chemistry on the show. Star Wars, being a multicultural phenomenon, is one that concludes the evident and shocking revelation of the 369 theory. Based on numerological proportions, this saga is deeply rooted in many influences beforehand, such as Star Trek, which happened to be created by Eugene Roddenberry, who also happens to share a 6 expression. Additionally, George Lucas credits Japanese cinematographer and filmmaker Akira Kurosawa's film named The Hidden Fortress, a Japanese Jidaigeki film literally named period drama, as being one of the main sole inspirations for Star Wars. Looking within the numerological implications of the film, The Hidden Fortress was released December 28, 1958, adding the date to the summation of the 9. Additionally, when adding the expression number of the movie's title, The Hidden Fortress, it carries an expression number 9 with a soul urge number 3 and a personality number 6. The shocking pattern can be seen through the actors' numerological blueprints as well. The reason 369 functions as a magical combination in any art form is because astrologically number 3 and 6, that is, 3 being ruled by Jupiter and 6 being ruled by Venus. Additionally, they are fueled by the Martian energy of the 9, which is ruled by Mars. This powerful combination arises in an art form that is mesmerizing, magnetic, vulnerable, and transformational. Such effects leave an imprint that resonates deeply on an emotional and spiritual level. Much of the latter examples shown in this video are evident in its enduring power, as even the newer casts of the recent Star Wars films attain 369 imprinted in their numerology chart. Numerology, in every essence, holds the truth, if you're willing to unlock it and see it for yourself. It will forever remain a discovery, a reveal, an inner knowing. So, who are you?